Hi everybody, I'm Chris and welcome to Playing Games. Today I'm going to teach you something a little bit different. It's a magic trick and a story, and it's called The Magical Innkeeper. This is a great magic trick slash story told to me by my father when I was very young. I don't know the origins of it, but I know that it's a fun trick. It's very easy to learn how to do yourself, and I'll even teach you how to do it if you want to stick around to the end for a spoiler. To start the story, we need to travel back to the medieval times, when tournaments happened, the jousting type, where you'd fight for honor for your king. This story is about 4 kingdoms, and they were all going to the same tournament. There was only one road through the dangerous mountain pass on the way to the tournament. And although the weather was quite nice when they started their journey, it turned bad very quickly. The clouds darkened, snow fell, and they were stranded. Along the road, there was only one inn, and they were all forced to stay there. Our story begins as the first king approaches the inn. It was the King of Cups. The king always traveled with his horseman, his best knight, and his ace advisor. Now, on approaching the inn, he realized that the innkeeper was favorable to the Cups and said, "I have 4 rooms. I'll accommodate each and every one of you." He gave them a hearty meal of stew and bread and the best wine he had, and he sent them each to their own room. He put the king in the best room, of course, and then the horseman in the next best room, the knights, and the advisor had the 4th room. As the weather got worse, the second king came along. That was the King of Swords. And the same story. The king came with his horseman, his best knight, and his ace advisor. The innkeeper said, "Well, unfortunately, I only have 4 rooms, and they're already taken by the King of Cups, and you'll have to share rooms. They're already asleep." So he fed them, and he put the King of Swords in the best room, which was with the other king, the other horse with the other horse, the other knight with the other knight, and the other ace advisor with the other ace advisor. And so what happened next? The King of Coins came in. He was placed with the other king. The other horse was with the other horseman. The other knight was with the other knight, and the other ace advisor was with the other ace advisor. And finally, the 4th king came along. The innkeeper put the kings with the kings, the horsemen with the horsemen, the knights with the knights, and the ace advisors together. As you can imagine, these kingdoms did not like one another, and the kings were quite upset that they were with their rivals. So the advisors came down to the innkeeper and said, "You've got to do something. You can't put the King of Swords with the King of Clubs. They're going to kill each other." The innkeeper knew that also he might lose his own life if he were to wake them up and force them to separate into different rooms. So the innkeeper had a little bit of magic, and he said the spell, took all of the people and mixed them up. And then he magically distributed them back into the 4 rooms. And sure enough, the next morning, they woke up in their rooms. And in the first room was the full kingdom of coins. In the second room, and in the second room was the full kingdom of swords. In the third room, the full kingdom of cups. And in the final room, you guessed it, the full kingdom of clubs. And that's the story. Young and old, people love this trick because it's got a little storytelling element to it with a nice little magical twist at the end. Now, how do we do it? Well, the thing with this trick is it's just math. And if you don't want to know, end the video here, but make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. But if you do want to know, I'll tell you. As you might have guessed, the innkeeper is not actually magical, nor am I. How this works is by the number 4. So let me separate this, and we'll do it face up so you see how it works. So as you can see, we've put all the kings together, all the horse people together, all the knights together, and all the ace advisors together. And they're going from first, coins, swords, clubs, and cups. you take all of these and you just stack them on one another. So you put the kings on top of the horse, on top of the knights, on top of the aces. Now, you would have this upside down normally, but we'll show it up right side up. I'm going to not shuffle the cards, I'm just going to put half of the deck below the other half. So it looks like I'm shuffling, but I'm not actually shuffling. If you shuffle it, it ruins the trick. You want to keep the order exactly the same, even though you're cutting the cards. You can even do a little like trick like, oh, this is tough to shuffle sort of move there. But as you see, I'm not actually shuffling. I'm just taking half and putting it on the bottom. We'll do it face up. Because there are 4 groups of 4, when I put them down, I didn't change the order of the aces. They're all the same. Kings, horse, and knights. And that's it. And it works just because you didn't shuffle the cards. They're in the same order, and when they're spread out in a rotation of 1 card down at a time in each corner, they separate out into their rightful suits. And that's it. It's a fun story, a fun trick, and it usually works pretty well. Though practice it a few times before you try it on other people. Get that story down right, get the trick down right, and it'll be a success. So that's the story my father taught to me. I've taught it to my children, and you can teach it to whoever you like too. Keep this trick alive. What's this card? Okay, it's the share this video with everybody you know card. That's a good one.